But I cannot even lie to you. There's no way David's not so. Okay, there is. Maybe he got someone to offer. Maybe his bodyguard. Because he was like, yo, he killed for me. So we hired the hitman. That's my thought. Or his bodyguard, someone
The
else.
actual news and the meat and potatoes. I just want to announce that I officially have my own podcast on Spotify by the name of Maury in the Morning and Night. Links will be in the description. I'm pretty much going to be taking a new approach to how I create content now, since I am going to be uploading a lot of my content to Spotify. So with that said, for those of you who have Spotify or Apple Music, I am going to be getting on Apple Music soon, and who don't care for much about, actually watching the video, but just listening to what I have to say about a particular news story, you're in luck, because I'm going to be trying to, tweak how I create content a bit to cater to people, who are running errands, doing chores, shopping in the supermarket.
In the back of my mind, you died. Come back.
supermarket driving a car, or are just trying to get through their errands, doing chores, shopping in a supermarket, driving a car, or are just trying to get through their day with
listening to good music and giving bitches the aim. What, do you need a power bank?
the need to listen to something in the background. So with that said, everybody be sure to head on over to my new podcast, Maury in the Morning. To follow me on IG at MauryHQ. I do want video ideas and stories to talk.
Tell you what's going
About. It is kind of hard finding daily topics to talk about all the time that I know you guys will be interested in. So if you want to help me out, be sure to head on over to my Instagram as well. Drop a follow, DM me anything, literally anything that you think might be interesting for this entire community, because we are a community. Be sure to do that. And I'm always open to suggestions. So yeah, with that said, let's get into the story. Now, as according to today's latest update from multiple news sources, by the way, multiple media outlets have reported that David has not been named as a murderer.
It could be later on. Maybe they're trying to do that. Oh, that's not where I'm. Later on.
Murder suspect in Celeste Rivas's case. Police confirm in a new statement, and this was reported by Daily Loud, Drama Alert, Say Cheese, Rap House, E! News, BET, and many other media outlets in regards to the latest updates surrounding this case. Now, one thing I do want to make abundantly clear is that just because he has not been yet named as a suspect in this case does not mean that the police, law enforcement, FBI is not watching him as a potential suspect. So to make things abundantly clear, I'm pretty sure police and detectives on this case are sitting on a boatload of evidence of which they're probably going to use to prosecute David. Of course, people are upset and angry about this. They're
You did more. Nigga, you wanted to speed one thing. They're doing that, gathering all the evidence. They can bring it to the judge. The judge can be like, yo, it's actually true you did this. They're gonna be like, how do I explain it? Confident that, yo, you did this. It's 100% fact. And he did it. So that really what they're doing.
questioning why he has not been locked up already, as if police officers nationwide haven't arrested people for much, much less. Of course, David being in a privileged position, regardless of where you believe that privilege is coming from is the reason for why he has not been behind bars yet, obviously. But of course, when you're dealing with someone, you know, this rich, this powerful, with this many connections, not saying like the guy's like the Joker or anything, but he is rich, so he can afford to hire the best lawyers. And that is exactly what he's done. As according to independent.com, independent media outlet, they say David hires Harvey Weinstein lawyer as police investigate how teenager's body came to be found in his Tesla. And if we all know who Harvey Weinstein is, media Hollywood mogul who got outed in the Me Too era. And actually, I'm not entirely sure if he's still in prison or not. I believe he went to prison. I'm not sure if he's out yet, but that's a little background on the type of lawyer he just hired to defend him in this case. And as you can see here from ABC News, they say in their article that teen's cause of death still determined after body found in David's Tesla, death certificate reveals. And the latest news I heard was that the two possible ways of death she could have died, right, was either by overdose, drug overdose, or strangulation. That is the likely probable scenarios that a lot of internet sleuths, detectives, and people online suspect to be the case.
The death certificate revealing few clues about how Celeste Rivas died, only that she was not pregnant. The cause of death listed as deferred as the coroner and detectives worked to figure out how the 15-year-old's decomposing body ended up in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to singer David.
In order for there to be a prosecution, law enforcement has to find some key pieces of information when it comes to a potential homicide. First, they actually need to figure out if it's a homicide or not, and the autopsy report will help give them that. Then they have to figure out the who and the how in order to bring charges.
So as we just heard, her death certificate pretty much has her cause of death as deferred, which pretty much means they cannot rule out a specific cause of death. And it does indicate that she was not pregnant, as the newscaster said. So obviously, with a little common sense here, we can all assume that detectives, they've seen everything we've seen. They've seen all the reports, the documents, the videos, the audio, the Discord logs, the TikTok posts, the pictures with Celeste. They know that was his girlfriend. They know that he was.
Wait, what? You check the paper. Dude, I said, oh, is the bag in this one? The other one? It looks like the same exact bag. The picture with her with. And let me see it. And she walked around the store with that bag. I'm like, yeah, she walked around.
They know that he was likely keeping her in his house and that she likely died in his house. Something went very wrong there. I don't know what specifically happened, but we are assuming that there are many different possibilities. Maybe she tried to leave. Maybe she didn't want to stay with him anymore. Maybe she got pregnant. Maybe he didn't want the world to find out. Maybe she wanted to go public and he had to keep it all under wraps, right? This is going to be a very long case. Cases like this sometimes even take years and years to figure out what truly happened, right? So with that said, although I know a lot of people are angry and mad and are upset, David is not yet listed as a suspect in this case, although behind the scenes, he may be a potential.
Oh. He's out there. Killing people now, bro.
Suspect. It's going to be very hard to likely pin this murder on him since the body's decomposition or state of decomposition prior to it being found in that Tesla was very severe, to the point to where people initially thought it was chopped up through the verbiage of dismembered. But to state this again, the body was not likely chopped up by David. It was just naturally dismembered or falling apart due to the natural decomposition of the human body, or any corpse for that matter, in the heat in a tightly compact space like the front of a Tesla trunk, in the raging heat in a California environment in the middle of the summer. I mean, good God, I'm hearing reports that she may have been dead for at least 4 weeks before being discovered in that Tesla. Also, according to E! News, they say David's manager speaks out amid Celeste Rivas Hernandez death investigation. However, the manager, by the name of John Marshall, He came out and said, and I quote, "This has been a tough time for my family as I am a father of 3 children." He said, and I quote, "Also, I work remotely 95% of the time, and my job doesn't require me to have much interaction with any of my clients slash David, as there are many others that work with him on a day-to-day capacity. Not me. This news is tragic for so many, and for her family, I hope the proper authorities get to the bottom of it soon." The article also goes on to say, in addition to noting, and I quote, "A lot of this is speculation and alleged." Marshall concluded with, and I quote, "In the meantime, I am with my family helping them emotionally get through the news of this tragedy." E! News has reached out to Marshall for comment, but has not yet heard back. I'd also like to note that his manager goes by the name of J Mogul on Instagram. His bio says music exec, manager, father and house husband, mogul vision, play chess and not checkers, right? Generic shit. But clearly this guy's page is now private and he does not want to be associated with this whatsoever. Although
His whole shit is being filled. Not filled. People are just sitting on the.
David, I believe, was his top creator, his top artist, the moneymaker for this guy. So, hey, obviously now he's trying.
Alright.
to distance himself. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's update on that case.
In the back of my mind, are you? I didn't even cry one single tear. I think I got the.
Also, guys, remember to go follow the podcast page, Maury in the Morning and Night. In the description below, you'll find all links. Also, follow me on Instagram and be sure to join our Instagram community. I'm gonna be posting some PSAs there, some updates there. I actually want to away from weirdo activities being
the whole time.
made or had or hosted under my name or under my community, if you catch my drift. I just want to, Anyway, thoughts and opinions down below. All suggestions, I'm open to them all. Reddit, Discord,
She was the mafia time. They definitely probably had it. He knows ball, bro. David is named not suspect, I believe. That's crazy still. Hopefully, he still goes to jail.